Hi, I'm Nancy Barrow, the engagement manager and podcast host for Connecticut Paid Leave. This is a new interview segment called 5 Minutes of Impact, short but powerful conversations with Connecticut Changemakers. And our changemaker today is Sarah Holmes, the training and outreach manager for the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence. And I want to thank you for coming here, Sarah. Thanks and welcome to 5 Minutes of Impact.
Thank you for having me, Nancy.
So let's start at the beginning. What is the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence, and what do you do and who do you serve?
Yeah, so we are the statewide coalition of individual sexual assault crisis programs. The Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence works to end sexual violence through victim assistance, community education, and public policy advocacy. Our mission is to prevent sexual violence in Connecticut and foster a statewide network of support for victims and survivors. And we serve anyone who has experienced sexual harassment, abuse, or assault. We also serve folks who care about anyone who has experienced sexual violence. So that could be parents, spouses, teachers, therapists, police officers, anyone who has been impacted.
Is there a project or initiative that the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence is focused on right now, or is there something that you're really proud of?
Yeah, so April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I'll give you a really brief history of that. So up until the 2000s, from the 1970s until the 2000s, most anti-sexual violence groups in the US hosted some kind of awareness week during the month of April. In the early 2000s, Sexual Assault Awareness Month was recognized for the first time on the national level, and this was organized by the National Sexual Violence Resource Center. Then, in 2009, President Barack Obama became the first president to officially proclaim April as SAM. Each April, our member centers host events and activities throughout the month to raise awareness about sexual violence, honor survivors, and refocus prevention efforts. This year, some of the highlights of our SAM activities are supporting the Connecticut State Community Colleges in implementing the Clothesline Project. We'll also be partnering with several universities to screen the film Disfluency. And each of our member centers has different events that are happening in local communities. You can find out more about those by visiting our website, which is endsexualviolencect.org. Click the Get Involved button, and that will bring you to our public events calendar.
You're going to be really busy, huh?
Yes, we are.
How can our viewers or listeners get in touch with the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence, or how can they work with you, Sarah?
Sure. So if any listeners think that they might benefit from receiving our services, you can call your local member center directly or call our 24-hour confidential statewide hotline to be connected with your local member center. If you are interested in getting involved to volunteer, we would invite you to visit our website, find your local member center, and give them a call. All of our member centers rely heavily on volunteer advocates to operate our crisis services after hours. It is a 40-hour certification training course, and volunteer advocates provide vital services like hotline support and medical accompaniments during non-business hours.
Wow, that's amazing. And what are some of your future goals and priorities at the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence?
Yeah, so we envision a world in which every person is doing their part to prevent sexual violence. Every member center has the resources that they need to serve communities, and every survivor has support. And advocates across our coalition are doing work every day to provide comprehensive victim services, as well as prevention programming in K-12 and university settings. We're also looking forward to the current legislative session. We have a number of legislative policies that we are supporting, including securing state funding to offset some of the pretty devastating cuts that we are anticipating will come to VOCA, which that is the Victims of Crime Act, and we receive much of our funding from that.
It's terrible that you're going to get cuts, for such an important program. What's one final thought that you would like people to take away from today's conversation, Sarah?
I think my final thought is to please call our hotlines if you have a question. If you're not sure about something that happened to you, call and talk to one of our advocates. We are here to provide support and empowerment.
Well, it goes by really quickly, doesn't it? That's all the time we have on 5 Minutes of Impact. Short but powerful conversations with Connecticut Changemakers. And I want to thank our Connecticut Changemaker, Sarah Holmes, the Training and Outreach Manager for the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence. Such an important conversation, Sarah, and thank you so much for what you do.
Thanks, Nancy.
I learned a lot from you today. I'm Nancy Barrow, and for a deeper dive into Connecticut paid leave, please listen to the Paid Leave podcast on our website at ctpaidleave.org. And thanks for joining us.